When I first started watching the setup for this gathering, I thought we were just in for another round of typical family bickering and corporate backstabbing. But that changed everything. The moment I saw Jacinda hovering around those drinks, I knew something was wrong. My stomach dropped. I was literally screaming at my screen, telling Willow not to touch that glass. But the sheer audacity of what actually played out, I am still reeling. I genuinely wasn't expecting that. We all suspected Jacinda was up to no good, but to see her actually slip the poison into the water with the sole intention of taking Willow out permanently, it was chilling. It was calculated, and yet it was only the appetizer for the main course of absolute betrayal that was about to follow. I keep thinking about the layers of this conspiracy, and I am just blown away by the dark turn this has taken. The real shocker wasn't Jacinda acting like a villain. It was the realization that Michael might have been orchestrating this entire nightmare from the shadows. I watched him standing there, watching Jacinda make her move, and the silence from him was deafening. He knew. He absolutely knew what she was doing, and he let it happen. The idea that Michael is the true mastermind, manipulating Jacinda into doing his dirty work so he can keep his own hands clean, is blowing my mind. If this worked, Jacinda would be the perfect scapegoat, and Michael could play the grieving, innocent widower. It is a level of cold-blooded calculation that I just wasn't ready for. But then, the plot thickened in a way that had me jumping off my couch. Willow is no fool. I have to admit, I have underestimated her observational skills in the past, but seeing her catch Jacinda in the act was a massive fist pump moment. She saw the tampering. She knew the water was spiked. But what she didn't see, what none of us were prepared for, was Michael's contingency plan. When Michael stepped in and secretly slipped a second, entirely different toxin into the mix, my jaw hit the floor. A double-layered trap. He wanted to make absolutely sure that even if Jacinda's poison failed, his would finish the job. Both Jacinda and Michael thought they were the ones in total control of the narrative, completely unaware of how spectacularly this was about to blow up in their faces. Why did this hit me so hard? I keep thinking about Michael's entire history on this show. For years, we have watched Michael sit on his high horse acting like the ultimate moral compass of Port Charles. He has judged Sonny for his mob ties. He has judged Nina for her mistakes. He has judged everyone who doesn't live up to his impossible Quartermain standards. And now he is orchestrating a lethal hit on his own wife. The hypocrisy is staggering, but it is also brilliant storytelling. We are finally seeing the collision of his Quartermain entitlement and his Corinthos ruthlessness. The expectations we had of Michael being the good guy have been completely shattered, and it is both horrifying and mesmerizing to witness. I love this storyline because it brings back that classic high-stakes soap opera chaos that made us fall in love with the show in the first place. The tension of waiting to see who would drink the water was unbearable. But something still bothers me. I am incredibly frustrated by the sheer recklessness of it all. Doing this in a public place, with security cameras everywhere, it feels a bit sloppy for someone who is supposed to be a corporate genius. Part of me is screaming, "What were you thinking, Michael? You are surrounded by people in a room full of potential witnesses, and you pull a stunt like this?" It is infuriating, but I guess that is what makes it so dramatic. The arrogance to think he could get away with it in plain sight is exactly what is going to be his downfall. And then came the climax. Guys, I am still shaking just thinking about it. Willow, being the smart woman she has evolved into, completely avoids the drinks. But the universe has a twisted sense of humor, because who ends up picking up those lethal glasses? Drew and Nina. I have to admit, the poetic irony of this is almost too much to handle. Drew and Nina, two people who have caused Willow so much grief in different ways, accidentally drinking the poisoned water meant for her. The scene was pure, unadulterated chaos. One second they are talking, and the next They are collapsing. The visual of Drew and Nina hitting the floor, gasping for air, foaming at the mouth, and losing consciousness right in front of everyone is burned into my brain. The panic in the room was palpable. People screaming, tables crashing, the frantic calls for an ambulance. It was a masterclass in building tension. The party instantly transformed into a horrific crime scene. I could feel the adrenaline pumping through my veins as the paramedics rushed in. It was a terrifying, heart-stopping sequence, and I honestly don't know if either of them is going to survive this. I understand why Michael might be furious with Willow, given everything that has happened recently. I understand the resentment and the anger that has been building up in their marriage. I still think that this was a catastrophic mistake. Michael is acting like a coward. If you have a problem with your wife, you divorce her. You don't manipulate a third party into poisoning her, and you certainly don't add your own poison just to be sure. Maybe I'm being unfair, but I cannot look at Michael the same way ever again. He has crossed a line that you simply cannot uncross. He has proven that when push comes to shove, he is willing to play God with people's lives, and that makes him incredibly dangerous. But let us talk about Willow, because her reaction to this entire mess is what truly fascinates me. She didn't just panic, she analyzed. She saw Jacinda tamper with the drink, so naturally, her first thought was that Jacinda was the sole culprit. But Willow is sharp. Once the initial shock wore off, and she realized that the symptoms Drew and Nina were displaying didn't quite match a simple poisoning, the wheels started turning. I could see the exact moment the realization hit her. She knew Jacinda and Michael were close. She knew they were on the same side. And suddenly, the horrifying truth dawned on her. Her own husband was in on it. The psychological devastation of realizing the man you sleep next to wanted you dead is just incredibly heavy, and the actress is playing it to absolute perfection. This brings us to the PCPD investigation, which is shaping up to be one of the best detective arcs we have had in years. The police sweep in, securing the glasses, bagging the evidence, and pulling the security footage. And this is where the double-layered trap completely unravels. I can already picture Anna and Chase sitting in the precinct, watching the monitors frame by frame. First, they see Jacinda slipping her vial into the glass. But then, just moments later, the camera catches Michael doing the exact same thing. The complexity of this case is going to drive the PCPD crazy. 2 different people, 2 different poisons, 1 intended victim, and 2 accidental casualties. It is a legal and investigative nightmare, and I am here for every single second of it. The dynamic in the interrogation room is going to be explosive. Jacinda is going to realize that she is being set up to take the ultimate fall. I fully expect her to point the finger straight at Michael to save her own skin. She will claim he coerced her, that he was the mastermind. On the flip side, Michael will play the innocent, grieving family man. He will throw Jacinda under the bus so fast it will make our head spin, claiming she acted completely alone and that he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Watching these 2 former allies turn on each other like cornered animals is going to be incredibly satisfying. There is no loyalty among villains, and they are about to learn that the hard way. Part of me wants to believe that Michael never intended for it to go this far. I want to believe that maybe, just maybe, there is a shred of the good guy left in him, and that seeing Drew and Nina fighting for their lives will snap him out of this dark phase. Another part of me thinks that he has fully embraced his inner mobster, that the Corinthos blood is finally dictating his actions, and that he feels absolutely no remorse for what he has done. I honestly can't decide how I want this to end for him. Do I want him to find redemption, or do I want to see him locked up in Pentonville wearing an orange jumpsuit? It is a massive internal struggle for me as a fan, because I have rooted for Michael for so long, but this action is just so unforgivable. The ultimate twist, the moment that is going to cement this storyline in soap opera history, is Willow's testimony. She is the star witness. She is the one who saw Jacinda. She is the one who connected the dots to Michael. Her testimony is what will force the police to look past Jacinda and focus their crosshairs on Michael. The image of Willow standing strong, looking her husband dead in the eye, and officially pointing the finger at him as the mastermind is going to be iconic. She is no longer the victim. She is the one bringing the hammer of justice down on the man who tried to end her life. If this theory plays out the way I think it will, the fallout is going to be catastrophic. Michael Corinthos, the golden boy, the CEO, the man who always claimed to be better than his mob boss father, being handcuffed and read his rights in front of all of Port Charles. It is the ultimate fall from grace. While Drew and Nina are hooked up to ventilators at General Hospital, fighting for every breath, Michael will be sitting in a holding cell, facing charges of conspiracy and attempted murder. He stands to lose his company, his family, his freedom, and his reputation. The mighty have truly fallen, and it is a spectacle I cannot look away from. Am I the only one feeling this way? Am I crazy for thinking that Michael might actually be the one behind all of this? Do you guys think he is truly capable of orchestrating a hit on Willow? Or is Jacinda acting completely on her own? And what about Drew and Nina? Do you think they will survive this double poisoning? Or is Port Charles about to lose two major players? Guys, what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I need to know if I am the only one losing my mind over this incredible, chaotic storyline.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.